and really learn about your business and all, and like how did you grow it, and how big did you get it to and all that. So when you first started and all, you said you kind of, I think it was a pickup truck you started off initially with.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started off with a 2012 F-250, 300,000 miles. I think I paid 50, two-wheel drive in Cleveland, Ohio, by the way. But $5,800 is what I spent on it, used my tax money to buy it, and financed the dump trailer. Had a $170 payment a month, which for if anybody's watching this and you're thinking about it, if you have good credit and you think you're going to last in this business, financing a dump trailer, if you don't have a lot of capital, is probably one of the best things you could do. They hold their value. And
How much was the dump trailer?
it was $9,000 at the time, financed for like $10,200, and I ended up paying it off pretty quickly.
Okay, so you start off with the pickup and the dump trailer. How long is it now until you go upgrade to the next size, and what's the next truck after that you go to?
Yeah, so the beginning of my story goes, I was pretty cocky, a little overconfident, and was like, this is junk removal. I don't need any help in this. YouTube University, I'll do this stuff on my own. Yeah. And I got jobs and did my own thing, and very quickly I learned I didn't know jack squat about pricing. I knew a little bit, but I'm doing concrete jobs for $400 when it should have been $3,000 and things like that. So pretty quickly, my money's running down. I'm getting jobs, money's running down. I said, you know what, dude? Let me humble myself and let me find somebody. And I knew a Lee. I was with JRA for an amount of time, and linked up with those guys, mentored me pretty well. I also bought some of their services, and I think by month 3 or 4, I was doing $11,000 a month part time. So I was working 9 to 5, literally like 8:40 to 5:15 at the bank. I'd get off, drive my truck and trailer to work, change my clothes, and go do jobs. Had a newborn at the time and everything. Wow. And yeah, and so when I saw that $11,500 part time, and I'm making $3,000 at the bank, I said, "Oh, somebody making sense here. Peace." So I put my 2 weeks in, didn't give a damn, really didn't have that much saved up, and said, "I got it," because you put your back in the corner. That's when diamonds are made or you fold. So I'm gonna make a diamond every time. So I left and went full time, and it was history from there. By month 10, I had my first $34,000 month. And that's or 34 to 35,000. And that's really when I started YouTube. So a lot of people think I started my YouTube in the very beginning. I started it right at a year's time. And that's when I was hitting my 34, came right back with a $37,000 month. And
so you're at the 10-month point, and you just hit this 34K. How did you do it? Where did it come from? Was it just organic marketing? Were you paying for ads? Were you doing like Google ads, Facebook ads? What was working for you?
Yeah, man. So really, I teach in my coaching program now, hybrid marketing. And so long story short, I didn't know I was really doing it at the time, but I was. And it's really a mixture of organic and paid, because one of them's a back end marketing and the other one's a front end marketing. You got to have both of them to work together in cohesion to have a business that lasts a long time. So, at the end of the day, I'm really putting out yard signs. I'm really giving out business cards. I'm going to apartment complexes. I'm putting in the work with storage units and property managers. But I'm running Google ads at the time, which back then, 5 years ago, they weren't the cost that they were today, but they were still expensive. You got to have somebody $900 to $1,000 a month manage them, and then you got to have another $2,000, $3,000 budget. So I just risked it, and it worked. Pretty, within a month and a half of getting on, it started working. And so it was just a mixture, but I would probably say 65, 70% Google ads. The rest really came from everything else.
Okay. So when you started with the Google ads, did you tackle it yourself, or did you go and hire? That was what you worked with Lee and JRA and all that?
I worked with a couple of different companies, and this is, something I teach my students is, you're trying to build a business. The whole goal of this thing for most people is to get away from that 9 to 5, or if you have a struggling junk removal business, is to elevate and get to a multi-6-figure level so you have a foundation, right? With that, if you've never ran Google ads or you've never ran any kind of ads, best thing you focus on is building this business, learning the habits of a successful 6-figure entrepreneur, get the business going, and let's put that onto someone who's good at it. Because the more time you're trying to learn Google ads and the more time that you're trying to focus on campaigns and learn all this stuff, you're not really working on those habits. You're really running crazy, losing money. And then some people just end up quitting before they get going. So I would say I teach, even in my program, I teach people how to do Facebook ads. But if you're going to run Google ads and you have the budget for it, let's go with a reputable company that's proven and go that route.
So Sky, let me ask you this, man. So you start working with a new company and all. What can you expect as far as Google Ads returns right away? Is it a couple months wait until you actually see that you're making profits, or is it like that first month you're going to be making profit right off the bat with the Google Ads?
Oh, dude, I love that question. That's a great question, Paul. So most people got the game messed up. When it comes to marketing, you got to be willing to lose money to make money, right? So you don't just get, for most people. Now, some people go with a company and they start making money within a week. Cool. Most people, you're going to go with a company. It's going to be a month, month and a half, because they've got to learn your area. They've got to learn the algorithm. They got to see what people want in your area. They've got to test different ad creatives, go over the KPIs. What's your conversion rate? What's your show up rate? How many people are calling you? You got to know all these, because data is the most important. That numbers don't lie. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. So if you have a company that you go with and it might take them a month to dial things in, because they have to see on the back end what's working, what's not working. But once you find that winner, and once you dial it in, you're pretty much set, and you have to tweak here and there. But in Google Ads, that's how it works. But here's the thing with Google Ads companies in the junk removal space: very few and far in between. A lot of people really aren't what they say they are, and a few are pretty good. So you got to know what those 3 or 4 good companies are, and pretty much stay away from everybody else, from what I've seen.
Now, what is the actual return? So now you got to pay, something like 900, 1,000 a month to a company to handle your Google Ads and all that, plus the Google Ads on top of that. What can you expect in the returns? I'm just trying to figure out the hard numbers, because I hear everybody talk about Google Ads, but you never actually hear the hard numbers or what the returns are,
Yeah.
so what can somebody expect? Like they drop 10K that first 3 months, 10K a month.
So my rule of thumb, because I have a lot of my students running Facebook ads. We have a really good thing that I've taught them that really works for them. A good rule of thumb is you want at least a 3x ROAS. And for everybody that doesn't know what ROAS stands for, that stands for return on ad spend. That basically means for every dollar you spend, let's say you have a 3x ROAS, you get $3 back. You spend 1,000, make 3,000. A really good campaign is going to do 5x or better. But when you're looking at a company, and let's say we go over 3 months and you spend 10K, would like to see you make at least $30,000 from that 10K to be able to move forward with that company. 90 days is a pretty good amount of time, but we've got to remember as well, how good are we at setting appointments? They may be giving you quality leads, but if you ain't worth a damn on the phone, or you ain't
Yeah.
worth a damn at responding to people, that may be an issue too,
You got to close it, and you got to be quick. You got to be on that phone in a second. Like, as soon as they hit you up, boom, you're answering right back. Because every minute goes by, you could lose that possible client right there.
Yeah.
And Julio says, "Man, hustle, hustle, and not giving up." Paul and Sky, you guys are both go getters and serial entrepreneurs. Thank you, Julio. Appreciate that. Right back at you, bro. You on it too, my man. Arm wrestling news is over. For now, it's on hold. But I said to everybody else, we're gonna get that channel up and running again. Paul Italia Arm Wrestling is gonna come into my fitness channel and kind of just like my blog to show my everyday life and all that. So check that out for sure.